billions of dollars, billions of taxpayer dollars left behind in the failed catastrophe of a withdrawal from Afghanistan. Saw a recent article on the mainwire.com. You can go ahead and put the picture up here. And this is something that is kind of recycling again a little bit right now. The picture you're looking at right here is from the Taliban tweeting out a picture of their new armed forces left behind from...
Well, wait, that can't be, because I was told that those were all destroyed.
No, that'd be false.
Oh,
this is straight from the Taliban, basically pointing at us and saying, "Ha ha ha! Look what we've got now." This picture doesn't do it justice. I've got some numbers here that I think it's gonna shock a lot of us. It shocked me when I read it. I think it'll shock you. My whole goal for this segment is to urge you not to forget about this blunder. It's your money, let alone. I mean, I'd be bad enough if we're spending my money on lizards on treadmills,
yes.
But to arm a enemy,
people that want to kill us,
yep. Down with the USA, death to the USA, leaving this state-of-the-art, top of the world as far as technology to allow these, whatever you want to call them, allow these enemies of the United States to have access to these and basically own these from now. Yep. So listen to some of these numbers. The Times of London reports that the U.S., and that's important too, this is coming from London.
Not even from the U.S.
No, they're not going to admit this.
Yeah, and what our top-notch media? They're not.
No. This is from Times of London reports that the U.S. simply abandoned a truly astounding arsenal of military equipment and weapons. This reportedly included up to 22,174 Humvees.
Wow.
Nearly 1,000 armored vehicles. Almost 65,000 machine guns. And 42,000 pickup trucks and SUVs. That's just part of the list. Those are some of the most costly of the items. Also, go ahead. What were you going to say?
Oh, nothing. I just, also the fact that you're talking about, when people think of Humvees, they just think, oh, it's a vehicle.
Yeah.
Well, these are attack vehicles.
That's right.
And the machine
probably
guns
mounted
and
with
things like that. So it's not like these are like just innocuous. It's not like they stole your granddad's Chevy pickup out of the driveway.
So when I said 65,000 machine guns, I don't want you to mistake that for a leftist calling our AR-15s a machine gun.
Yeah, these are
a machine gun that they're talking about are high rate fire. You might be able to tell me the difference.
Well, these are the full M4. So on the handheld, the troop-held, you got your full M16s or M4s now. So they're high rate of fire. That's reliable, accurate.
That's not even what they're talking about, though.
These are heavy machine
guns. These are like the saws and the...
You got the M60s and all of that kind of stuff. So these are serious hurt.
If you want to talk about the assault rifles or the M16s, that military grade, 360,000 left behind. On top of the 65,000 machine gun, actual true machine guns in the truest sense of the word. So
we've got the true machine guns for suppressive fire, as well as the infantry support fully automatic.
Automatic assault rifles.
Okay.
126,000 pistols, nearly 200 artillery units. That's not artillery shells. That's artillery.
Wow.
Anti-aircraft, anti-tank. Howitzers, I don't even know if those are still, but that's what I picture as an artillery.
Well, yeah, they're probably
still howitzers.
They're probably the 155 millimeter howitzers are probably part of those.
And I haven't even mentioned the helicopters yet. The military, state-of-the-art military helicopters, warplanes, and other aircraft. So this, if you want to put that next one up here, here's an actual breakdown. We'll blow that up for you a little bit. So if you look down through there, some of the numbers I've already hit, but let's look at that helicopters. Bottom or center left, MC-17s or MG-17s, I can't read that. Blackhawks 33. We all know, everybody's seen movies with Blackhawks and knows their capabilities.
Yep.
And then just 43 of your transport reconnaissance helicopters. Fixed wing aircraft, looks like transport vehicles, 4 of them big
C-130s.
that you can basically roll a tank up into, right?
Yep.
Isn't that what it is? Some fighter aircrafts and then some Cessnas. Not so upset about the Cessnas, but the other wartime, aircraft, we handed over we didn't even hand it over. We just left it there.
We just left it there. Yep. Basically everything but short of just putting a bow on it.
That's right. What does that, let's see, that one actually says 118,628 police and paramilitary security units. I guess that's how many the Taliban have. 182 actually armed service guards in the Afghan state, and then 118 police. So that's basically, they've got all this equipment, all this new equipment for that amount of people. Another thing I'd like to point out here, if you look up right-hand corner over there, 162,000 radios, 16,000 night vision goggle setups.
And this one is the part, okay, you get into this night vision gear. For one thing, it's horribly expensive. This stuff is so tightly controlled that as U.S. citizens, we're allowed to have up to pretty much what their current top-notch stuff, usually a step behind, but we're allowed to have it. But you have to sign documentation that you will never sell it or let it go out of the U.S. territory as a citizen. And if you do that, you can be put in prison. And so we give them 16,000 units. And make no mistake, these are the things that allowed our troops to have the superiority on the battlefield.
An advantage, right? Now equalized.
Now it's equalized. And also, I noticed on here too, I don't know if you were going to mention it, 162,000 radios.
Yep.
Okay, these aren't your Baofeng $25 radios from Amazon or your $20 walkie-talkie from Radio Shack. I probably just dated myself there. These are top-of-the-line, military-grade combat radios, which also means they have encryption, they're hardened. So essentially, we've given them a backdoor into our communications capabilities.
Right.
So
reverse engineer, whatever. So now we've caught them up.
Yeah.
Not to mention now they can use that for communicating if there was some sort of skirmish in the Middle East again, God forbid.
Yep.
But before they were using goats to send their notes from...
Or they were using like Baofeng radios. Right. I mean, they were going to Amazon and buying some of that, the cheap stuff. Now they've got the same top-end, top-notch, long-range, encrypted stuff that not only can they communicate with themselves very well, they can listen in on us.
Just to give you an idea of where this takes the Taliban from the Stone Age, the cave dweller fighters, who did a good job, I guess, defending with what they had. But now it takes them to a point where they have more Black Hawk helicopters than 85% of the countries in the world. So it just took them from having basically no helicopters to they're catapulted up there only to be bested by maybe the U.S. now, Russia, China, France, England, maybe a couple of those,
Actually, they might have more than maybe France or England.
Maybe, but that's to give you an idea how much loot we left behind because of Biden's failed evacuation. Now let me go as far as I believe that we should have left Afghanistan.
Yes,
but in a smart way, and this.
Yes, we shouldn't have done this whole little. Honestly, okay, I'm just going to go out there. Now, welcome to the conspiracy side of the program. I think this was done intentionally on purpose as some type of a payoff. Because any other type of withdrawal, the large equipment would have been truly destroyed.
Bagram, or it would have been taken out of Bagram on these military transports. Yes. Or destroyed.
Or destroyed. All the smaller equipment, the radios, the night vision gear, all of that stuff should have been brought back or destroyed. They did neither. They left it all. And their cover story or cover-up was, Trump set the date. Well, the last I heard, Biden won the presidency, so he's
Right.
allowed to change the date.
That's right. That's right.
And you don't just go by a date and then say, "Oh, look, it's that date. Let's everyone grab your suitcase. We're going home."
Yeah.
I mean, you got to do this with some kind of intelligence,
Organization, right?
or organization.
So-
and not to, I don't know if you were going to mention it. Let's not forget, people died.
Well, that's a good segue because I was going there. So we had people inside Afghanistan that were helping the cause, right? Informants,
Yep.
People that were working with us to reach our set goals.
Yep.
Afghans. So now the Taliban we left also behind all the retinal scan biometric devices that has all the fingerprints, the data, and the names, information, biographical information of all the Afghans who helped us and were on our side for the last 20 years. What do you think that does for our geopolitical reputation? Next time we get ourselves involved in a situation like, is there anybody in their right mind that's going to offer up assistance to us?
Nope. The people who might even want to help are going to be afraid, rightfully so.
History.
You just look at history, and there is no upside to helping the U.S. now. I mean, because we're setting this groundwork and this track record of failure, and don't get me wrong, it's not a failure that we left Afghanistan. I wouldn't even say it's a failure that the Taliban took control, because let's be honest, they were there before we were there. They only left because we beat them into submission.
Right.
It doesn't take a huge leap to think that they were going to more than likely come back. So I don't consider that the failure. The failure was how we did it and the fact that we didn't protect the people that did help us. Because a lot of those people that help us now, a lot of them have been hunted down and have been killed or disappeared in other fashion. We have been able to get some out. There's been an underground of sorts of, honestly,
Private
citizens that have kind of created these back channels and avenues for these people to get out.
So if you had to guess, I don't know if you looked forward in this or not, if you had to guess how much, based on what we know there with the chart, how much money, U.S. taxpayer money, was gifted to the Taliban?
Honestly, I just knowing how expensive some of this stuff is, I don't know, because the numbers are getting so big that it's hard to actually comprehend.
Right, and when people are throwing around trillion and 600 billion to Ukraine and all that stuff, it makes it. But with this, it's been estimated at $85 billion of military equipment.
Wow.
85. So not only did we gift them this, there is a good chance that these weapons will be used against us or our allies, or maybe up into Europe, where we'll see these weapons utilized for exact opposite of what we intended them for.
And I've kind of heard some grapevine stuff as well, that some of this stuff is starting to show up in some other conflict zones.
Is that right?
It appears that some of this stuff is actually being sold. So, okay, when you leave 380,000 automatic assault rifles, true assault rifles, not the stuff that the
not the CNN,
not the CNN assault rifles, but real ones. When you have enough for a fighting force of that size, and you don't really have a fighting force of that size, in some ways, it's just a bank account. They can sell some of that off now to their friends and buddies, and just make actual cash as well.
Yep. Good point. That's all I had on that one.
I hope you've enjoyed this clip from the Craig's Gun Channel Random Shots program. The program airs Thursdays at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. On Random Shots, we discuss content ranging anything from preparedness, survival, politics, firearms, basically anything that's 2A related, with sometimes some rabbit trails on things that aren't related at all. If you enjoy this type of programming, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you're notified when we release new content. And if you like it, hit the like button and share us if you would as well. It helps the algorithm and helps the channel grow and helps get our message out. So I guess until next time, stay safe.